If you've been claiming working from home expenses on your tax return, the ATO has quietly moved the goalposts for 2025 to 26, and most people have no idea. A full-time home worker can lose over $1,400 in deductions in a single year, not because they spent nothing, but because they didn't keep their hours the exact way the ATO now demands. Millions of Australians claim these expenses every year, and the rules now hinge on one record nobody used to bother with. Over the next few minutes, I'll show you the 3 moves that protect every dollar, log your hours, compare both methods, and strip out anything you can't legally claim. Here's the number that runs everything: 70 cents per hour. That's the ATO's fixed rate for the 2025-26 income year, and it covers your electricity, gas, internet, phone, stationery, and computer consumables for each hour you substantively work from home. But here's the part nobody tells you. That 70 cents is worth nothing if your records don't pass the test. 3 moves, and each takes under 20 minutes. Log every hour you work from home, gather your bills, and compare both deduction methods. Then audit your claim for anything private or double counted. Problem 1 is the records test, and the ATO is strict about it. To use the fixed rate in 2025-26, you must keep a record of every hour worked from home for the entire income year. Estimates and assumptions are no longer accepted. You also need at least one bill showing you actually incurred costs like electricity or internet. And the work must be substantive, not just occasionally checking emails or taking a call. Compare the old world to the new. Under the old shortcut method, you claimed 80 cents an hour and could scale a 4-week diary across the whole year. According to H&R Block's summary of the rules, the revised fixed rate is 70 cents an hour, but demands actual hours for the full year plus evidence of expenses. So the rate is lower and the proof is far tougher. ATO 2025-26 guidance. Problem 2 is double counting, and the ATO is actively denying inflated claims. Under the fixed rate, the 70 cents already covers electricity, gas, phone, internet, stationery, and computer consumables, so you cannot deduct those same running costs again. Claim the rate and a separate internet bill on top, and that extra claim gets disallowed. ATO 2025-26 guidance. Here's what that costs when the ATO catches it. Say you wrongly claim $600 a year of extra internet and phone on top of the rate, and the ATO reviews 4 years. That's $2,400 of disallowed deductions, roughly $780 in extra tax, at a 32.5% marginal rate, possibly plus interest, ATO review. And if they decide your homework wasn't even substantive, the entire claim can go to zero. Here's the myth that traps people. A rough estimate of my hours is good enough. For years, a short 4-week diary could be scaled up, so the belief stuck. The fact from the ATO's 2025-26 guidance is that you now need a record of every hour for the whole year, and getting this wrong can disallow your entire working from home deduction. Put the 2 costs side by side. A full-time home worker who fails the records test loses $1,400 in a single year, 2,000 hours times 70 cents, gone, ATO 2025-26. And double claiming $600 a year of internet, reversed over 4 years, claws back another $2,400. Get both right, and that's real money kept every single year. Meet Jess. She's 34, a marketing manager earning $110,000 a year, and she works from home 3 days a week, around 1,152 hours over the year once you allow for leave. She uses a spare bedroom as an office, owns her own laptop and monitor, and pays the household electricity, gas, and internet. Here's what Jess found in the fine print. Discovery 1 cost her $806 of exposure. Jess assumed she could estimate about 1,200 hours and kept only a 3-month diary. Reading the ATO rules, she learns she must record all hours for the entire income year. So her 1,152 hours times 70 cents, $806, could be disallowed in full without a complete log, ATO 2025-26. Discovery 2 is a different layer entirely. Jess had been claiming the fixed rate and an extra $300 a year for internet. But the 70-cent rate already covers internet and phone, so that $300 is double counting. Non-compliant and removable on review, ATO 2025-26 guidance. She can only separately claim things the rate doesn't cover, like the decline in value of her laptop or chair. Discovery 3 is the most surprising. Doing more work could pay her back. When Jess apportions her actual bills properly, the actual cost method comes out at about $1,270 versus roughly $1,056 on the fixed rate approach. That's about $214 more a year, but only if she keeps the records to back it up. Illustrative ATO apportionment rules. Now stretch that across her career. With 31 years to retirement, the gap between doing it properly and failing her records while double claiming adds up to around $40,000 in lost working from home deductions. It's illustrative modelling, but the lesson is brutally simple. Small record-keeping habits quietly compound into serious money. So could this be you? You've never kept a full year log of your homework hours. You don't know whether your internet claim sits on top of the fixed rate or inside it. And you haven't compared the fixed rate against the actual cost method to see which is better. If any of those is you, the next 3 moves are exactly what you need. These 3 moves aren't busy work. Each one directly protects money the ATO can otherwise take back. First, you make your claim bulletproof with a proper hours log. Then you make sure you're using the method that pays you the most. And finally, you remove anything that could get the whole thing disallowed. Done once, they set you up for every year that follows. Move 1. Log every hour for the full year. Because the fixed rate is simply hours times 70 cents, your hours are the whole deduction. And the ATO no longer accepts estimates or sample periods. Use a digital timesheet, spreadsheet, work roster, diary, or the ATO app, making sure it shows dates and start and finish times for your home-based work. ATO 2025-26. Here's how. Each day you work from home, record your start time, finish time, and breaks. At month end, total your hours and export the record. At year end, confirm the total and store the file with a backup. What good looks like is a complete, contemporaneous log of every hour with no estimates. Move 2. Gather your bills and compare both methods before you choose. Download 12 months of electricity, gas, internet, and phone bills through your ATO online account on MyGov. Then work out your genuine work-related portion. Only then can you tell whether the simple fixed rate or the actual cost method gives you the bigger, defensible deduction. Here's how. Collect 12 months of energy, internet, and phone bills. Keep a 4-week representative diary for mixed-use items like internet and phone to set your work percentages. Then compare actual cost against the fixed rate plus equipment. Good looks like a documented calculation showing which method wins and why. Move 3. Audit your claim for private expenses and double counting. List every WFH expense you plan to claim. Then if you're on the fixed rate, delete any separate line for electricity, gas, internet, phone, stationery, or consumables. They're already inside the 70 cents, ATO 2025-26. Strip out coffee, ordinary clothes, and anything your employer provided or reimbursed. Here's how. List every WFH expense you intend to claim in MyTax or with your agent. Delete anything already covered by the 70-cent rate. Remove private and employer reimbursed items. Good looks like a schedule where only work-related, unreimbursed, single-counted costs remain. This is general information, not personal advice. Why does this matter right now? Back in 2022, the 80-cent COVID shortcut method, with its loose records, was scrapped. From the 2024 income year, the ATO brought in the revised 70-cent fixed rate, demanding full-year hours and bill evidence. And 2025-26 is the first full year where estimates of hours are firmly out. So the time to start logging is the 1st of July, not the night before you lodge. After you act, check it actually worked. You should see a full-year hours file saved alongside your tax records. Confirm you've got at least one bill proving you incurred each cost type. And if you're using the fixed rate, make sure no internet or phone line ever appears twice. Once is right, twice gets disallowed. Everything here comes straight from the ATO's Working from Home Expenses Guidance and its MyTax 2026 instructions with supporting summaries from H&R Block and Morrow's. All the links are in the description so you can read the exact rules yourself before you lodge. So now you know what the ATO's 2025-26 working from home rules actually say and the 3 moves that protect your deduction. Next week, I'm pulling apart the car and travel deductions the ATO is quietly auditing. Subscribe so you don't miss it. If this saved you from a nasty surprise at tax time, hit subscribe. It genuinely helps us read the fine print so you don't have to. Drop your WFH questions in the comments and I'll answer as many as I can.